My parents publicly shamed me online to protect my insane soccer coach, so I finally cut them off. A month later, they received an email that ruined everything they believed. When my entire soccer team stood up to defend me from our creepy coach, my parents actually told me I should apologize to him for making a scene. I've been playing soccer since I was 5 years old, not because I wanted to, but because in my family, you didn't have a choice. But because in my family, you have to. My mom was all-state MVP. My dad played semi-pro in college. Even my little brother made varsity freshman year. Our whole house is basically a shrine to soccer trophies and laminated newspaper clippings. So of course, when I joined my high school team, they acted like it was my destiny. But here's the truth. I'm not very good. I've always been benched more than I played. I try, I really do, but something about my coordination just never clicked. Still, I kept going, because while I hated how bad I felt on the field, I loved my teammates. They made me feel like I belonged, even if the scoreboard didn't. The only person who made everything feel 10 times worse? Coach Ryder. Now let me be clear, all coaches yell. That's normal. But this wasn't yelling. It was something else. Something off. The way he singled out girls during practice, the way his eyes would linger when we were stretching, how he'd invite us to stay after for personal drills while smiling way too hard. None of us ever stayed, thank God, but still, he never stopped asking. At first, I thought maybe I was just being sensitive, so I didn't tell anyone, especially my parents, because in my family, quitting is worse than failing. And Coach Ryder, he was considered a legend. My dad literally told me once that if I listened to Coach Ryder and worked hard, he'd turn me into someone our family could be proud of. So yeah, telling them he made my skin crawl, not an option. The worse I played, the harder he pushed. He'd single me out during scrimmages, call me slow, dead weight, even a waste of jersey fabric. I told myself to toughen up. I pretended it didn't bother me, but it did. It really did. And then it got worse. A few weeks ago, I missed a goal during practice, and he snapped. Jesus, Lindsay, you're a effing embarrassment. You should be grateful I even let you on this team. Maybe if you stayed after practice and worked on those lazy-ass thighs, you wouldn't suck so bad. Everyone heard it, but nobody even moved. I opened my mouth to speak, but my teammate Sam beat me to it. She turned to him, completely calm, and said, "You ever talk to her like that again? I'll rip your whistle off and shove it so far down your throat, we'll finally get some peace." Dead silence. Coach turned bright red. "Excuse me?" "No," Sam said. "You're not excused. You're not a coach. You're a creep with a clipboard." I couldn't breathe. I was staring at the ground, trying to disappear, when Coach yelled, "You're off the team, both of you. Get off my field." That's when something insane happened. The rest of the girls, they dropped their water bottles and walked toward me, one by one, standing in front of Sam and me like a wall. No one said a word, but I could feel it. I wasn't alone anymore. Even our goalie, quietest girl on the team, just looked at Coach and said, "Maybe we should talk to the school counselor about your private lesson obsession." Coach tried to backtrack, of course. Suddenly we were overreacting, but it was too late. We'd seen him for who he really was. Later that night, I told my parents what happened. I hoped they'd finally listen, but they didn't. "Are you sure you're not just being emotional?" my mom asked. My dad crossed his arms and muttered, "This is why people don't get better. One bit of tough love and they call it abuse." "I'm not calling it abuse," I said. "Sweetie," my mom cut me off, "we've known Coach Ryder for years. He's a professional. You just need to grow thicker skin." That's when I realized it didn't matter what I said. It didn't matter how scared I felt or how much he humiliated me. To them, he was a soccer god, and I was just the bench warmer who couldn't take a joke. The next morning, my dad told me I needed to apologize to Coach. "Think of the college scouts," he said. "You don't want to ruin your chances over some misunderstanding." I didn't say anything. I just went upstairs, sat on the floor of my